Fellas, did you guys want to smell better than everybody else this fall? Do you want to or not? Just answer the question, please. Well, if you do, I got 10 fragrances for you, man. Let's get into it. Let's get it. What's going on, YouTube? My name is Darren. I'm the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. This is the channel where fashion and fragrance collide. So if you're into fashion and you're into fragrances, then this is hopefully the right channel for you. I hope you guys will consider subscribing to the channel, and if you do that, make sure you hit the little bell icon as well, and make sure you click on all. That way you get notified anytime I upload new content on this channel. So on today's video, guys, I'm going to be giving you guys 10 fragrances to help you smell better than anybody else this fall. So these are going to be fragrances that are appropriate for the fall season. And when I say smell better than anybody else, what I'm actually referring to is this. I'm going to talk about 10 fragrances that I don't talk about a lot, and I know that other folks on YouTube don't talk about these fragrances a lot, and they smell good. So you can smell better than anybody else because you're not going to be smelling like anybody else if you choose to go with 10 fragrances on this list. Now, some of them have been mentioned before. I'm not saying they've never been talked about, but either that was a long time ago or it's been never. But I promise you, these are 10 great fragrances that fit the description. They smell great and they are appropriate for the fall. So if you want to see what's on the list, you know how we get down. Keep it locked right here. Let's get it.
The Bowtie Fragrance Guy.
All right, guys, we are back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. Let's go ahead and jump right into this list. Now, this fragrance may have been talked about a little bit more on the by females here on YouTube, but not a lot of guys have mentioned this fragrance. And I'm not surprised. They're making a huge mistake by not taking a closer look at this fragrance because it's freaking dynamite and it's great in the fall. This is from the house of Christian Dior, and this is called Vanilla DIORAMA. Vanilla DIORAMA. And of course there is vanilla in here. As a matter of fact, there's bourbon vanilla in this fragrance. But guys, listen, man, and this has a rum accord in here that just knocks my socks off, man. You get the rum, but you also get this kind of chocolatey, almost powdery cacao note in this as well. And again, the rum and the cacao is working in conjunction with the bourbon vanilla. So again, fantastic. And I love the fact that it's not super, overly sweet and vanillic as you may think by the name of the fragrance. And that's because the citrus is on the top, man. Just listen, try this stuff. Try it. You're going to be smelling better than anybody else. And if not better, at least you're going to be smelling good and smelling different than anybody else. So check it out. Again, it's from the house of Christian Dior. And again, this one is called Vanilla DIORAMA. And speaking of smelling better than anybody else, I like to make sure on this channel, as you guys know, that you are looking better than anybody else as well. And that's where today's sponsor, Tiege Hanley, comes into play. Listen, you guys know I've been rocking with Tiege Hanley for about a year now, and I talk about their products because I sincerely believe in these products. Listen, I'm not the only one that uses Tiege Hanley in my house now. Listen, the missus uses it sometimes, as well as my 14-year-old son. You guys know at that point in life, you're dealing with a lot of skin issues, going through puberty and the whole nine. And listen, he's been rocking and wearing the Tiege Hanley as well, and it's been doing wonders for his skin. I recommend starting always with the level 1 system because it's very simple process, very easy to understand process. You start with the facial wash in the morning and at night, because the facial wash is really the foundation for all the other products that you may choose to utilize with Tiege Hanley. It's going to make sure your skin stays clean, make sure your skin stays smooth as well, of course, and clean out all the impurities and make sure your skin is looking as radiant as possible. And again, that's the foundation and base for the rest of the Tiege Hanley product. So start with the facial wash every morning. Now, after the facial wash, make sure you apply the AM moisturizer. Whether it's cool, whether it's warm outside, most days the sun is going to be out, and the moisturizer is going to protect your skin from the sun. It's going to protect your skin from the sun. It's also going to make sure that your skin stays hydrated. This is one of the main issues that a lot of people have, is that they have very dry skin. So make sure that you apply the moisturizer before you head out and get your day started. Now, like I said, this is very simple. So before you go to bed at night, make sure you wash your face again. Wash your face again with the facial wash, and then of course make sure you apply the PM moisturizer in the evening time. Guys, when you are sleeping, just make sure that your skin stays protected while you sleep, that it doesn't dry out while you're sleeping as well. And also I like the fact that it kind of works to kind of even out your skin tone, blemishes and stuff like that. So make sure that you apply the PM moisturizer in the evening time before you go to bed. And to complete the level 1 system, we also have the facial scrub that you only want to use twice per week. But the facial scrub makes sure that you keep your pores cleaned out, and also they help to reduce the inflammation that some people sometimes deal with in their skin. So again, guys, really simple, really easy to understand. It's a 4-step process at the level 1 system. But what I do love is there's other products that you have if you have additional issues as well that you can use, like one of my favorites, which is the eye serum that reduces wrinkles under your eyes. So that's it, guys. It's really simple, it's easy to understand, and it's a skin care system that works. So because you guys are my subscribers, Steve Handler is going to hook you guys up. So I'm going to leave a link down below. Make sure you click on that link and get started. They're going to give you 30% off of your first order, and of course they're even going to throw in a free gift. As I always say, that's a win-win situation. So go ahead and click on the link and get started with your skincare regimen so you can look better than everybody else out there and smell better than everybody else, of course. All right, guys, this next fragrance up is one of those fragrances that nobody talks about. And my gosh, people are doing themselves a disservice by not getting their nose on this fragrance. But hopefully you'll be one of the first outside of me to go ahead and look at this one, because just let me show you the bottle. Again, we're talking about a fragrance from the Harmonist, so you know it's dope. And this one is called Sun Force. This one is called Sun Force. Man, you guys have heard me talk about the note of pomelo before, and because pomelo gives off facets of spices, some of my favorite spices, nutmeg, cinnamon, cloves. This has pomelo, but it also has rose, but the highlights of the fragrance is going to be benzoin and honey. You guys, you got to get your nose on this. This is like a mature next level version of like a 1 million elixir to me. That's kind of sort of what this reminds me of, but this stuff is so good. Oh my God. And it's so appropriate for the fall. It's signature scent worthy to me, but the fall, it will shine. So make sure you get your nose on this, guys, from the house of the Harmonist. This is called Sun Force. All right, guys, this next fragrance on the list was released in the year of 2020. And God knows that was a weird year in the world itself, but I'm guessing, of course, it had an effect on the fragrances and that were released that year as well. So it could have been that. I don't know. This fragrance kind of flew under the radar and never really got the attention that it warrants. It's good. It's from the house of Dolce & Gabbana, and this is the one Eau de Parfum Intense. Eau de Parfum Intense. Now, maybe it could be that, you know, to my nose, it doesn't really resemble the original, the one EDP or the EDT for that matter that much, but it is so freaking good. And like I said, this flew under the radar. I think maybe outside of it being 2022, maybe the cypress in it, I turned people off. I don't know. But listen, guys, this is a great fragrance. And again, fall, winter is the perfect time to wear this scent. You probably can find this at discounters now because, again, I wouldn't assume that it did that well because nobody really talked about it. But my God, this stuff is good. Get your nose on this, guys. It's from the house of Dolce & Gabbana, and this is the one Eau de Parfum Intense. All right, guys, this next fragrance on the list did receive some hype when it first came out, but that hype has long since subsided. But guys, fall, winter, vanilla, one of those notes that really shines in the fall and winter. And this is one of the best vanilla fragrances to my nose that I've ever put my nose on. And this one is from the house of Atelier des Ors. This is called LUNE FELINE. LUNE FELINE. Look at how gorgeous this bottle is, man. This is an amazing bottle. Check out the gold flakes. This thing is absolutely fantastic. If you like vanilla, get your nose on this. This is a smoky vanilla fragrance. Another one that a lot of folks said kind of smelled like a grown-up version of By the Fireplace. Anyway, it's fall. This one works in the fall. And again, not a lot of people are talking about it anymore. So make sure you get your nose on this. This is from the house of Atelier des Ors. This is called LUNE FELINE. All right, guys, this next fragrance is a fragrance that comes from the house of Boadicea de Victorious. And my God, is this thing good. This one is called ARDENT. This is ARDENT. And this is a sexy, sultry, seductive rose fragrance. My goodness. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. I don't want to be before you long, but this fragrance smells a lot like Tom Ford's Noir de Noir. Just gonna be honest with you guys, that's really what this kind of reminds me of. But this has this beeswax in here. And beeswax to me kind of comes off like honey, or more thick, richer variation of honey. That's kind of sort of what that feels like to me in this. So that's the difference between this and Noir de Noir. And the beeswax is really what puts this fragrance over the top in that kind of sexy category. But guys, not a lot of people are talking about ARDENT, but it's something I think you guys should get your nose on. Check it out. Again, this is from the house of Boadicea de Victorious, and again, this one is called ARDENT. All right, guys, this next fragrance is a fragrance that, again, if you talk about the house of YSL and you talk about their private collection, to me, Tuxedo is the most popular fragrance. I talked about Captain before as well, and this is the other standout in that collection to me. This is called CABAN. This is called CABAN, and really to me, this smells like a nice sandalwood-based fragrance. If you smell fragrances like, of course, I would say more Grise Charnel. Not really Santal 33, but Grise Charnel from BDK. This smells a lot like that fragrance. And of course, anytime you're talking about fragrances that really have a sandalwood heavy component to it, it really works, especially in the fall time. That creaminess just really shines through when it's cool outside. So get this one in your collection, guys. It's from the house of Yves Saint Laurent. Again, it's from the YSL, from their private collection. Again, this one is called CABAN. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list is another one to me that nobody really talks about. I definitely don't talk about it now. Even when it came out, it didn't really get the love that it deserves. And again, so if you want to smell better, different than anybody else this fall, go back and revisit this one from the house of Valentino. This one was called Yellow Dream. Yellow Dream, of course, just like any fragrance from the Valentino Uomo line, the bottle is absolutely gorgeous and the fragrance is fantastic. This one features gingerbread, and I really love when a gingerbread accord is used in fragrances. You talk about a fragrance note that's perfect for the fall, it's gingerbread. And this has gingerbread and vanilla and spices. That's really what this is. Like I like to say sometimes, sugar, spice, everything nice is in this bottle. So stand out. Go back and revisit this fragrance from the house of Valentino. Again, this one's called Valentino Uomo Yellow Dream. Guys, this next fragrance that I'm going to talk about is a fragrance in my collection that is one of the best that nobody talks about. And this is the perfect fragrance for the fall. So if you want to stand out and you want to smell better than the rest, get your nose on this one from the house of Amarud. This is called Golden Oud. Golden Oud. This is from their Elixir collection. And guys, I'm going to tell you, this fragrance is freaking fantastic. It's fantastic. Some of the highlights to my nose, there's some resins in here. There's myrrh. There is tobacco and caramel. Oh my gosh. Do yourself a favor. Just do yourself a favor, guys. Just get your nose on this stuff. Again, it's from the house of Amarud, one of the most slept on fragrances in my collection, honestly. And this is from their Elixir collection. And again, this one is called Golden Oud. All right, guys, and the next fragrance on this list, this is from still one of my favorite niche houses, and nobody talks about it. I'm probably the only one on YouTube that ever did a review on it. But it's from the house of Bond No. 9, and this one is called Off Broadway. This is Off Broadway. Fantastic fragrance. I've gotten my uses out of it, man. I got a little dent in this bottle. And it's just one of those fragrances that, seriously, when I first smelled it, I wasn't really blown away with it. But when I put it on my skin and started to wear it, the more it was on my skin, the more I fell in love with this fragrance. And I get some of the most amazing, you know, kind of unsolicited compliments wearing this fragrance. It's really musk heavy. As a matter of fact, if you look at Bond Number 9 had a fragrance called New York Musk, and they almost have a very identical note breakdown. I don't know if that was an error or not, but if you just look at the notes, it's a very almost identical note breakdown, but it's a musk heavy fragrance. So you have musk, you have I think in this one as well, you have some vetiver on the dry down. So really a musk and kind of vetiver fragrance with some grapefruit in the opening. I can't really explain it, but guys, this works. And again, you're gonna smell very unique because nobody else is gonna be wearing this. So get your nose on it. It's from the house of Bond Number 9. Again, this is an amazing fragrance. It's called Off Broadway. All right, guys, and last but not least on this list is one of the best designer amber fragrances that you'll ever put your nose on. This doesn't fit as much a description as a fragrance that nobody really talks about. I don't think as many people talk about it that much now, but one of the best, it's regarded as one of the best designer fragrances from the house of Prada. This is Prada Luna Rossa Black. This is one that will never get old. Again, if you like amber and you like that Prada Luna Rossa line, you're going to absolutely love this fragrance. It is perfect for the fall, and regardless of whether or not a lot of people know about it or not, if you want to smell better than the rest in the fall, this is a fragrance that I will always recommend. It is from the house of Prada, and again, this is called Prada Luna Rossa Black. All right, guys, that's it. That's my time. I hope you enjoyed my list today as I gave you 10 fragrances from my collection that are great for the fall that will have you smelling better than anybody else. As always, I sincerely appreciate your time and attention to these videos because you guys don't have to watch, but you do, and I sincerely appreciate that. Don't forget to make sure you take a few moments to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you are sharing these videos out to some other folks that you think could use this information or maybe even find it to be a bit entertaining. Because I'm your guy, Darren. I'm the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell amazing. So until next time, guys, keep looking good. Keep smelling even better. I will catch you on the flip side. Peace.